Hey YouTube, what's going on? Okay, so I don't got the computer set up, so I can't do this like these other guys do. So we're gonna do it the old school traditional way. Just moved into the new house, and I'm liking it so far. It's a good deal. This is just the kitchen, living room, and dining room, and it goes upstairs over there, and also downstairs over there. But anyway, here nor there. This is not about my new house. This is about this video here. This is Brian Stelter, and he is a douchebag. Just leave it like that for now. And this video was it's titled Obama. This is what 72 million votes for Trump says to me. Just real quick, I want to go through this and give you my little analysis of this. Okay, here we go.
Tell the truth. Here's the truth. A live look at Georgia.
There we go. Right there is this. Tell the truth. Brian Stelter. We all know he lies like crazy. I'm going to point out a few lies in this video as well. Sorry, I just got distracted right there. I'm going to point out a few lies in this video that you guys will see are very common of CNN and Brian Stelter, his propagandic ass.
A full by-hand recount for each county is underway. And look at the transparency provided here by Fulton County so that folks can see it for themselves.
Okay, first of all, right there, they're saying it's full transparency in Fulton County. That's one county, first of all. Second of all, those cameras are so far away that when they hand recount these ballots, we're not going to be able to tell what the hell's going on there. Look how far away that is. I mean, really, look how far away those cameras are from the tables. That's ridiculous. How are we going to be able to tell what's going on with the ballots? Okay? I'll keep going.
That's what we need. To help people see the reality. Back with me is Carl Bernstein, Joey Regency, and Sam Donaldson. At the same time, there is this dysfunction underway. I do think this is a perilous moment for democracy because some Trump fans, not all of them, some Trump fans are going deeper down this rabbit hole of voter fraud belief, of conspiracy theory. And Carl, ultimately, that's what this is. A giant conspiracy theory, right?
Back it up. Okay, so as you guys know, CNN is a Mockingbird media outlet, okay? And in 1969, the CIA, or not, sorry, not 69, 1963, the CIA derived the term conspiracy theory, or conspiracy theorist, to discredit those that did not believe in the mainstream rhetoric about the Kennedy assassination. They constantly refer to this as a conspiracy theory. They refer to us as conspiracy theorists, when in fact they are the conspiracy theorists and propagandists pushing a fake conspiracy on the Russian collusion, the Ukrainian collusion, just all kinds of BS that they tried to put Trump through. He literally withstood 4 attempted coups, illegal coups, against him. And this would be the 5th. Or it could be the 3rd and the 4th, but here nor there. You get the gist.
If this election had been rigged and Trump had actually won by millions of votes, what, thousands of people would have to be in on it?
Hold on, right here. I'm going to rewind this. I want you guys to watch his reaction. His snide reaction. Thousands of people had to be in on this. Like he's blatantly telling these people that there were thousands of people in on this rigging, okay? Listen to him. I went too far there.
And ultimately, that's what this is. A giant conspiracy theory, right? If this election had been rigged and Trump had actually won by millions of votes, what, thousands of people would have to be in on it?
Of course, it's a conspiracy theory.
Well, thousands of people would have to be. They try to make it sound so unattainable. They try to make it sound so crazy when in fact it's the truth. It's 1,000% the truth. George Soros has, I don't know how many prosecutors on his list, his payroll list. George Soros has, I don't know how many judges on his payroll list. The Free Society Foundation has thousands of people in it right there. The mainstream media has people that are related to them in government. all over the place. All over the place. So yeah, there were thousands of people pulling this off. Plain and simple. And it's not very hard to get thousands of people to pull something like this off when there are millions of voters. Okay? You only need a handful of people to do 1,000 votes apiece. It's that simple. Anyway, I'm going to keep going here.
But we have to look at who is making the conspiracy plausible to so many people. And that's why I come back to our coverage, not just of the instant moment, but I think in Washington particularly, and in the country generally, we have to start rethinking in mainstream, quote, mainstream media, some of our coverage. One is, let's take the fact that for 3 years, those closest to Donald Trump in the national security bureaucracy, whether it was Bolton, whether it was Kelly, whether it was Mattis, they all knew, and we knew, that they believed that the President of the United States was a danger to the national.
Hold on, real quick. They're going to say he was a danger to democracy and this and that. No, what he was a danger to the to the agenda that the socialists, the Chinese communists, had implemented in this country. He was an American danger to their socialist communist plan, their socialist communist overthrow. Keep that in mind when you hear this, okay?
Security of the United States. The national security bureaucracy, whether it was Bolton, whether it was Kelly, whether it was Mattis, they all knew, and we knew, that they believed that the President of the United States was a danger to the national security of the United States, and they believed, Kelly, Mattis, Tillerson, and on, that he was unfit to be president. We needed to find a way to report that, get it into our websites, get it on the air much more powerfully.
Let me say one more thing real quick here. He was a danger to the establishment. Absolutely. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Morgans, the Clintons, Obama, all these people, the Bushes, the deep state. Yes, he was a very big threat to them because he was bringing the house of cards down.
And we were able to. And concomitantly, we have in the country this former Cold Civil War, now ignited. We need to start covering the country. What is going on with the people of the United States? It might not be as sexy as covering something in Washington or in LA or New York. We need to have reporters out in the country and change our agenda about what people in the country are saying and doing, how they live. It might reduce ratings, it might cut into profits. But if we're going to do the mission that we are supposed to fulfill, we need to start covering both Washington and the country with a different perspective and perhaps start changing some of our own rules, particularly allowing those close to the president, whether it's Trump or the new president, whoever he is, and in the Congress of the United States, to talk to us on background, tell us what they think is really going on, and then somehow we continue to give them the cover of anonymity. We've got to find a better way to do it to get the truth out there. And the same
covering the country. Yeah. And when covering the country.
Hold on. We got to find a better way to do it to get the truth out there. What these people are saying is their propaganda is no longer working. Okay? The American people are waking up to the establishment. We are no longer buying the lies of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, Fox News. Okay? And they're going to try and find ways to spread their propaganda even more. Maybe they should drop pamphlets out of an airplane like we did in World War II.
That includes profiles of Biden voters, since there's been so much interest in Trump voters in the past 4 years. Let's take a look at Barack Obama, this brand new interview. Obama's starting a book tour for his book, A Promised Land, which comes out on Tuesday. It's going to be the best-selling book of the year, most likely. Here's what he told Gayle King about Trump voters.
72 million people voted for Donald Trump. What does that say to you about the state of this country?
Well, what it says is that we are still deeply divided.
What it says is we're sick of your bullshit. That's what it says. It says we're sick of your bullshit. It doesn't say we're racist. It doesn't say we're deeply divided. What it says is we're sick and tired of your socialist crap you're putting in our schools. We're sick of you selling our country out to the Chinese. We're sick of you with the mass lockdown. So you're putting your shit right in front of our face, right in everybody's faces, and you expect us to do nothing about it. It's not going to happen. It's over, man. It's over. Anyway, I'll keep going.
Power of that alternative worldview that's presented in the media that those voters consume. It carries a lot of weight.
Hold on a second. Let me rewind this real quick because
72 million people voted for Donald Trump. What does that say to you about the state of this country?
Well, what it says is that we are still deeply divided. The power of that alternative worldview that's presented in the media that those voters consume, it carries a lot of weight.
Are you worried about
the power of the alternative media that those voters consume carries a lot of weight. You mean the power of the truth? Documented evidence, truth, actual truth. There are no two truths. There are no two facts. There's only one truth, okay? And truth spreads like wildfire, okay? Especially amongst lies. When lies are told and somebody finds out the truth spreads like wildfire and you can't stop it. It's never going to stop, Mr. Hussein.
that?
Yes, it's very hard for a democracy to function.
It's very hard for your socialist communist network to function when you have us stopping your lies and propaganda. This is what he's really saying, you guys. When he says it's hard for our democracy to function. Okay, so like the Congo is called the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, the word democracy was actually created to disguise communism and socialism. Go look it up. It's true. You know, in a democratic vote, that's a democracy. They try to say that democracy is democratic. No, democratic is when you have the majority rules, basically. But democracy is, I'm serious, go look it up. It's crazy.
If we are operating on just completely different sets of facts.
You can't have different sets of facts. No such thing, Obama. No such thing as different sets of facts. There's only one set of facts.
And when I hear that, Sam Donaldson, I think it's an environment that, you know, is so different, so much more poisoned than the years you were covering the Reagan White House, for example, the first Bush White House, the Clinton White House. Former presidents didn't have to deal with this parallel universe problem.
It's because we're exposing the parallel universe you guys were creating for us.
That Obama and Trump and now Biden will have to deal with.
Biden's not going to deal with
That's
it.
true, and reporters didn't have to, the press didn't have to deal with this universe, which I think was always out there, but always kind of underground, until Donald Trump gave it voice, until Fox gave it voice, Newsmax gave it voice. And if you say, we've got to do better, who's the we? Washington Post? New York Times? There's always room for improvement, no matter where you think you are. But are we going to say to Mr. Murdoch, look, stop it. Fulfill that false promise of fair and balance. Bring balance into your organization. You'll feel better. You'll lose money, but don't worry about it. Are you kidding? And the Newsmax is now enjoying the fact that it's now seizing the Fox audience. It's upset at Fox because of 10% deviation. You're going to say, stop it. You're going down the rabbit hole even farther. Help America. Don't plunge it further into discord. Well, I hope so, but I don't think I'll hold much.
Who was plunging America into discord, you guys? It sure in the hell isn't Trump. We all know who is plunging America into discord. It's the media. And it's the old classic divide and conquer. They're using it well because they've had the minds of people for a long time. They all still believe this BS. Not all of them, obviously. We're waking up, but there's a lot of them that do.
Brad, I believe in the First Amendment.
Hold on. This guy said he believes in the First Amendment. And then we're going to get into the subject of censorship here in a second. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep playing this. He says he believes in the First Amendment, and he believes that the other people on this panel also believe in the First Amendment.
Fortunately, because I do believe in it, and I think everyone in this program believes in it. But how do you stop these organizations that can make money and also propagate the falsehoods to viewers and listeners who want it? And you say to the great Rush Limbaugh, you started this, please recant. No, he says no masks. Still to this day, no masks. If there's blood on the president's hands, as some people suggest, because not just of his inattention, but of his deliberate effort to keep the scientists like Tony Fauci from telling us how to keep ourselves safer.
Tony Fauci telling us to keep ourselves safer. Anthony Fauci himself wrote a paper 15 years ago stating that 85% of the deaths in the Spanish flu pandemic were not from the Spanish flu, they're from bacterial pneumonia. And I didn't see in the article where it said that masks cause bacterial pneumonia, but 2 and 2, okay? 2 plus 2 is 4. When you rebreathe your own bacteria in your lungs that you're supposed to evacuate, and you keep rebreathing your own bacteria by wearing this muzzle, only common sense would tell you that you would help that bacteria repopulate and get bigger populations like a petri dish. If you don't evacuate the bacteria, more are going to grow, they're going to stick around, and eventually cause pneumonia. Bacterial pneumonia. Watch, it's going to happen this winter. A lot of people are going to die from bacterial pneumonia, and they're going to call it COVID. Watch.
Our neighbor's face it. If there's blood on his hands, what about the blood on the hands of the enablers in the media, who also know better? Yet, there is the First Amendment, there's a due process, and all of that. I'm blathering about this, not because I think I'm wrong, but because I don't have an answer. I don't have a quick answer to turn the country around through the media reforming itself everywhere, and through people, therefore, reforming themselves.
But I appreciate your candor that there is no easy answer to this. Julie, last word to you because of the social media aspect of this as well. On Fox, there's a lot of promotion of these new platforms like Parler, these social media sites that are catering to conservatives, or at least trying to appeal to conservatives by saying they won't be censored on these platforms. Twitter and Facebook, of course, are not.
Hold on. I messed that up. Sorry, guys. Let me go back one.
On Fox, there's a lot of promotion of these new platforms like Parler, these social media sites that are catering to conservatives, or at least trying to appeal to conservatives by saying they won't be censored on these platforms. Twitter and Facebook, of course, are not censoring. They're just trying to clean up some of the craziness that happens on their platforms. But what do you make of this idea that we're also going to increasingly see an echo chamber of social media where some folks are on one side using one...
Okay, hold on a second. I got to stop right there. I myself have been censored, okay? To think that we're not being censored is complete... That's a conspiracy theory, that we're not being censored. That is a conspiracy theory. I don't even like using that term because my entire life people call me a conspiracy theorist, and now everything I talked about has come to fruition. It's a bold-faced lie is what that is. It's propaganda, okay? They're using propaganda against you. They're saying we're not being censored when we are 1,000% being censored. Certain websites that I try to post on Facebook have to use mask websites in order to get through because they're censored, okay? They started off with Alex Jones. Alex Jones was the first one to get censored and pulled off all the mainstream platforms. And then the Q community, they call them a terrorist organization. What terror have they caused? If anybody should be pulled off, it should be Antifa. But I don't believe anybody should be pulled off at all. I think everybody should be allowed to say what they want to say no matter what it is. Even if it is terrorism, they should be allowed to say it so we can stop it. Anyways, that's just a lie. And they're going to talk about how there's not going to be one single, here, listen.
Set of apps, and other folks are using other sets of apps. Meaning we won't even have a common virtual global square, public square anymore.
We won't even have a common global virtual public square. So here's the thing. He's calling them a public square. Therefore, they cannot censor. Okay? The government needs to pull out the Antitrust Act and treat these people as a utility. Therefore, they cannot censor us. even though they are now censoring text messages and all kinds of stuff. So it's crazy. But they are the new public square. And when we go talk together amongst each other in the public square, we are not censored. Therefore, they should not be allowed to censor. Okay? That's why we have to create new websites and new apps and to get around the censorship. That's why Trump has to tweet, because he has to get around you guys for bold-faced lying about what he says. Like the whole bleach scandal. That was a lie and a half.
Don't underestimate how much these social apps and the social media influence what you see on TV. Look, when I was growing up, I used to watch Sam on This Week every week. And if I didn't like something that he said, or if I didn't like something that George Will or Cokie Roberts or David Brinkley would say, I'd yell at the TV. Sam wouldn't hear me yelling at him. I'd just yell at the TV. Today, you have a much more direct way of yelling at somebody. You can tweet at them. You can repeatedly tweet at them. And don't underestimate how influential that is to the people that you see on TV. They are getting pressure from their viewers. And that's why I say the tail is wagging the dog on social media that then transfers over to the TV screens in ways that never happened in the 80s or the 90s, but it is starting to happen today and continues to happen today. And that has a tremendous influence on the information that you receive. It's the same way that Carl was talking about Republican senators. I worked on a Hill.
So hold on. So what she's saying is she doesn't like the fact that we, the people, are controlling the media. Okay? She is saying instead of the dog wagging the tail, which they are the dog and we would be the tail, instead of them being able to tell us what to do, we are telling them what they need to be doing. So she's saying that this is bad. This is not good. This is great. Are you kidding me? This is amazing because finally there are, there's a way for us to retaliate against the lies and the bullshit propaganda and the way that they direct us to go. They've been directing people the way to go for so long. And finally we have a way out and they want to stop it.
They are incredibly responsive to what their constituents write. They get X number of emails every day. And so this is the equivalent of that for news anchors, the equivalent of that for people on TV. And what that ends up happening is that ends up bifurcating or balkanizing our environment in ways that none of us ever anticipated when we all rejoiced at the advent of social media, at the advent of the internet. Who benefits from this? People like Vladimir Putin.
I'm so glad you pointed out, though. It is ultimately about the audience. This supply and demand issue. It's about the audience. And these Fox hosts who are going down these conspiracy theory rabbit holes, they're feeling it from the audience in an hour-by-hour basis. Julie, thank you. Carl, Sam, thank you all for being here.
Okay. In conclusion.
For every lie about the election results.
It's the first time the candidates will meet on stage since...
Pause. Oh, man, you guys. See, this is the stuff. I don't watch this stuff. This is my first... I once in a while, I'll grab a little clip and I'll watch it. But now I'm going to start doing this where when I watch it, I can dissect it and kind of give you guys what they're really saying, because anybody who watches my channel knows what's going on. Many people don't, though. I have a family member that is completely gone. I can't believe how far gone she is. My cousin, he's gone too. It's really sad, but the truth is out there, and it's waiting to be seen. Okay. There are all kinds of things going on with the election that we're going to be finding out here pretty quick. I believe this week coming up is going to be a beautiful week for the community, guys. Anyways, y'all have a good night. God bless you. God bless America. Let me know what you thought.